Hi everyone, welcome to Best Recipes with Sharon. This recipe is about how to make creme brulee. Creme brulee is a dessert consisting of a rich custard base topped with a texturally contrasting layer of hardened caramelized sugar. It's a rich and elegant dessert. This recipe will make enough to fill about 8 or 9 ramekins. So start by separating your eggs. You'll need about 12 egg yolks. This also requires a lot of heavy cream. I'm using 35% whipping cream. And it's always good to have your ingredients ready and pre-poured before you get started. So let's get right into making this. So first I have provided you with a list of the ingredients that you will need for this. Add 12 egg yolks to a large mixing bowl. Now add 1 cup of white sugar, 3 teaspoons of vanilla, using a medium whisk this together briskly, and continue to whisk it until it's thick and creamy. Now set your bowl aside and take out a medium saucepan, and you're going to scald 4 cups of heavy cream. And you heat this just until it starts to bubble at the edges of the pan. Be careful that you don't scorch your cream. Stir it constantly and watch it like a hawk. It'll only take maybe 3 to 5 minutes. Now you're going to be adding that to the egg mixture. So whisk up your egg mixture a little bit before pouring the cream in. And when you pour the cream in, pour it in and whisk it in between quite fast. You want to make sure that the hot cream doesn't start cooking the eggs before you're ready to pour them into the ramekins. This way you make the custard as smooth and creamy as possible and with no lumps. Alright, so I take and pour it into a measuring cup. It makes it easier to pour it into the ramekins. And just fill them up until it comes to that ridge at the top. Now take a boiling kettle of water and place them in a hot water bath. So you pour that hot water around the ramekins about halfway up them. Now carefully place them in a 325-degree oven. Be careful not to burn yourself because the hot water can splash easily. Now time it for between 30 and 35 minutes. This part can be a little bit tricky because it will still be jiggly in the middle and it will appear that it's not done, but it will thicken up when it cools off. So be careful not to overcook it. You want it to just start to set. Now remove them from the hot water bath and place them on a cutting board to cool off. And once they have cooled down a little bit, then I place them in the fridge to continue chilling. And they'll need to be in the fridge for at least 2 hours, preferably overnight. Now just before serving, take and sprinkle the tops with sugar, about a teaspoon on each. And make sure that has been evenly distributed. And I just take and jiggled it a little bit to make sure that it's even. Now I'm using a butane torch to caramelize the sugar that's on top and make that nice crust. And this will take a little bit of time, so be patient. You'll need to hold the torch about 6 inches from the surface or so. And then move it back and forth like this so that it browns evenly. And you just want it to brown nicely until it's golden. You don't want it to turn black on you. And you can see here it's starting to bubble up a little bit and it's turning nicely golden. Now after you have done this, you'll have to let it cool off a little bit so that it hardens, because that top crust needs to be hard to the touch. So now it's ready to serve, and you just take your spoon, you break through the crust, and you get through to that soft and creamy custard. Now your guests will be so impressed that you made this rich and elegant dessert. Give it a try.